All right, we've made it to the last story of Christmas, and this one is called The Gift. So, what do all of these stories have to do with each other, and what do they have to do with Christmas? When God created everything, He created it perfect. He made us to be in right relationship with Him and in right relationship with each other. But God gave man the ability to choose, and we did not choose Him. And when Adam and Eve disobeyed, they brought sin into the world, and everything changed. That perfect relationship with God and with man was broken. But God always had a plan in place to fix it. He chose Abraham, and He set him apart to be the beginning of a new people group that would be just for him. And He promised Abraham that through one of his descendants, the entire world would be blessed. And just like God gave Sarah that crazy, miraculous birth, one day He would say the same thing to a young virgin. Nothing is impossible for God. Well, just like Abraham did not withhold his only son Isaac, whom he loved, one day God would not withhold his either. God stopped Abraham from sacrificing his son, but He did not stop Himself. And just like God provided that substitute for Isaac, He also provided the substitute for you and for me. Well, just like God's people were saved when they put the blood of the Passover lamb on the doorposts, one day God would pass over the sins of anyone who was covered by the blood of another perfect, pure, and spotless lamb. God made a way to dwell among His people in the wilderness when He gave them the tabernacle. But because of God's holiness, only one person, the highest priest, could enter into God's presence, and he could only do that one day a year. But one day, God Himself came and dwelt among the people, and they could see Him and touch Him and laugh with Him and eat with Him, and He healed them. God promised David that one of his descendants would be a king that would reign forever. But He told the people through Isaiah that that king would be born of a virgin, that he would suffer and die on behalf of His people, but that ultimately he would be raised up and glorified. Well, God did come to a young virgin named Mary, and He told her that she had been chosen to be the mother of the Messiah. She was married to Joseph, who was in the family line of David. And when Jesus was born, they called Him Emmanuel, which means God with us. When the wise men came to worship Jesus, it was just this glimpse into the future when God's people would no longer be defined as just a specific ethnic group, but anyone who believes that Jesus is God's Son and calls Him Lord. Just like God promised Abraham, the blessing of Christ has now been extended to the entire world. Well, the story is called The Gift. God's plan to fix that broken relationship never changed. It was always Jesus. His birth was for you and for me, so that by believing in Him and trusting in Him and following Him, we can be in right relationship with God. It's a free gift. It's yours to take, but it didn't come without a cost. Jesus did suffer and die to pay the penalty for our sins, but then He defeated death and He rose again so that one day we can do the same. This Christmas, among all the gifts that you receive, there is nothing more valuable than what Christ is offering you. It is free. It is yours. All you have to do is ask. And if you don't know how, let me know. It would be my greatest joy to introduce you. Merry Christmas, everyone.